a Vision Pro app gets killed by YouTube, Prime Day picks, and an Apple TV Plus success story. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by Take Control Books, one of the very best sources of clear, concise information on not only Apple's various operating systems, but also key Apple and third-party utilities and more. Visit TakeControlBooks.com and start your library today. For Marty and Eric and everybody else, I was anxious to see what your thoughts are on this, that the YouTube gets Apple Vision Pro app Juno kicked from the App Store.
Yeah.
And yet YouTube does not have a native Apple Vision Pro app that I'm aware of. Is that still a correct statement?
That's still a correct statement. They don't have a native Vision Pro app. Most folks go through the Safari browser to look at it. Anything on YouTube. There is an app that I use, and after I heard about this story, today I put my headset on to see if this app was still functional with YouTube, and it seems to be. There's an app called Lens, which allows you to sign up for a lot of streaming services, and each one of them has a clickable window that takes you into the streaming service. And sure enough, YouTube is still functional in there. I had to re-sign in to my account, but it's still functional through that. Now, I hope I haven't blown that developers app out. If YouTube goes now, we're going to go after them next. But yeah, poor Christian Selig. First, his attempt to do things with Apollo on Reddit, and that got blown out by Reddit, and indicated that there was a lot of lawyer talk going back and forth on that. And this one, he's just kind of said, no, I'm not going to go through that same gauntlet again.
So I'm curious, other than just the obvious thing of everybody wants their app to be theirs, why would YouTube have a problem with this if it's getting more eyeballs inside of Vision Pro to consume their content? Is it a matter? I mean, they're monetizing the views, and I have no Apple Vision Pro here to play with, so I'm talking a bit through my hat. So I'm going to depend on you and Eric to straighten me out. But I feel like this is a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah. Of course it is.
Yeah,
but it's not a mistake. It's a mistake in the same sense that oops, I stepped on a bit of gravel or something. It's not a mistake that Google's going to feel in any way, shape, or form. What do they care? I mean, does this mean all of a sudden all the Vision Pro users are going to switch to using Vimeo, and they're going to boycott YouTube? No, they're got a monopoly, and they don't care.
Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it violated their terms of service, meaning their APIs. They don't allow that type of.
It's not design. Using any Google APIs.
Okay, so I thought I read in the article that it was using something that violated YouTube's policies. That's why they enforced this.
It's not using Google APIs. It's just a web browser. It's just a special, sort of a web browser that's sort of configured to make it easy to use YouTube. But it's no different than, it basically just tweaks them to CSS and stuff.
Well, if it did violate a YouTube guideline, then I get it. And we had the discussion endlessly about you can't just let things go. If you don't defend them, then they become indefensible. So I would get that part. But I guess and Jim, to spin your argument 180 degrees, Google wouldn't feel it either direction. So then why bother? Unless you're defending something that needs to be defended.
They've got fleets of lawyers that need something to do.
Well, come on. Yeah.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, it says that so in the article, and I'm quoting, YouTube has prompted Apple to remove Juno from the App Store, citing vague guideline violations. So who knows what that really means? My speculation, and just to be clear, I am just straight up speculating. I have no information to back this up. What if the way this app was written, it reduced some of the tracking capabilities that YouTube uses for viewers?
But it's
Maybe.
the same as
I don't know.
it's the same as watching a YouTube video in Safari. It's no different.
Yeah, and see, like I said, I was just pulling that out of my butt, trying to come up with something that would fit the vague guidelines.
I mean, the only difference is it made it look good. So maybe at some point
he just did that by injecting CSS.
Yes, but maybe at some point they're thinking, well, we'll release an app, and we're not going to put that much effort into it, and we don't want the competition of something that looks good. I see no reason why they should complain.
Eric, elaborate for me just a little bit on it looked good. I mean, you mean
he used CSS to reposition some of the controls so that it looked like a native app. It behaved like it, which is why some people thought maybe he was using APIs or something. But it's just a web browser connection, as Jim said, with CSS. And as far as I could tell from the article and reading, how it was done, it didn't seem to be doing anything different from what anybody else is doing, other than making it look good.
Okay. When you said
YouTube and Netflix are the big holdouts on this. They're forcing everybody to go through browsers to get their content.
Why?
I don't get it either.
I mean, there hasn't been an app like this for Netflix, right?
No.
I mean, so so Netflix has chosen not to make a native app, and so has YouTube. So that's one thing. But so Christian Salad figured out, hey, I can make a pretty cool app just by writing a little bit of CSS, and I don't need a native app. So you can get around the fact, it's basically the same technology as a Safari extension. So yeah, I think somebody at YouTube was like, somebody's, I better do something about this, because if it later turns out I should have done something, then I could be in trouble. So basically, there's no upside for anyone at YouTube in letting this continue, right? And so somebody's like, yeah, I better stop it because I don't want to get in trouble later. And so they requested Apple, and and there's nobody and Apple's just like, Google wants something, I better do it. There's no reason for Apple to stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, this is just some CSS. Why isn't this allowed? There's no upside for Apple, so they're just going to go along with it. So, there's nobody for whom the upside for the customers, Google doesn't care, Apple doesn't care. So you lose customers.
Dave?
Yeah, I mean, another article on Mac Rumors says, there was a quote from him saying this was a fun hobby project for me to build. And he says, I saw it as a way to learn and get some experience building an app for Vision Pro. And he said it was always something I saw as fundamentally a little app I built for fun. So, I mean, I don't think...
Yeah, he's not real broken up about it.
I don't think he is.
Thrilled, but...
No, and of course not. He's making a little extra money. It was kind of nice, but they quoted him saying that I don't think he's broken up.
And I think to the question of why only his has been taken down, it's because he is somebody with a pretty visible profile, I think. So, you know, it got a lot of attention when it came out. There was, you know, a lot of stories about it. I haven't seen stories about any other ones. That, you know, the only reason first I ever heard that there was anything else was when the stories about this being taken down, and people are like, "Oh, there's others." I'm like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So maybe the people at Google didn't know it either, and they'll come after those next if they feel like it.
I think you're right, because he also was a developer of that Reddit app Apollo, and then all that public fight with Reddit.
Right, and that was a very high profile story.
It was very high profile. So YouTube saw this, I can probably bet, and that's why we're talking about this today.
We alluded to it at the top of the show. Jeff has to go closer to the top of the hour, and he's dragging Dave along, even though he didn't get permission to do so.
Hey, you're not the boss of me, man.
Yeah, I know that, but it just, you know. Anyway, I wanted to make sure we just touched on Amazon Prime Day before you all go, to see if anybody found any unbelievable deals, or if they're partaking of any of the smaller deals that are out there. So, Dave, I'll start with you, and then go Jeff, and then just open it up to everyone.
I'll be honest, I had a really crazy day at work, so I didn't really have much of a chance to look what was for sale. So it'd be interesting to hear what other people found.
Okay. Jeff, did you take advantage?
No, I didn't. I didn't even bother to look. And if there was something that I felt like I really, really needed, I would have gone to check and see what sort of deals there are, or looked at one of the list articles saying, here's the 10 best Amazon deals, but I didn't even bother. And the thing is, Prime Days, since it's more than once a year now, it's suddenly not a thing that I feel like I need to watch closely, because it's just another sale.
Okay. Anybody else? Did anybody do anything? Oh, Mark,
I have a comment. I saw some of them. It looked like they had some pretty good deals on things that might be good Christmas gifts. I know it's only October, but pretty soon we're going to start to see a Christmas season advertisements. And I think some of their AirPods, or they had I think 30% off of second gen Apple Watch SE. So those look like pretty interesting things if you're able to plan ahead and get out of this instant gratification mode. So some of those things, from that perspective, you look pretty interesting.
Well,
but again, I think for stuff I need, nothing there was tempting to me. But just thinking for upcoming gift season, have at it.
For those who don't have AirPods Pro 2s, they're selling it for $168.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest it's ever been.
I've got a Magic Trackpad coming tomorrow.
Oh, good. That's always a good purchase.
Having a Magic Trackpad is actually pretty nice. I got one.
We'll see. I've been Magic
gestures.
Trackpad curious for quite a long time, so it's like $20 off. All right.
Yeah. I do my pointing with the Kensington Orbit trackball, but I have the Magic Trackpad 2 sitting right here beside it. And since I'm in closed lid mode all the time, I can't do the trackpad gestures there. So I do trackpad gestures on this all the time.
Yeah, I'm a trackpad user too. I didn't even see the that pricing on that one, Jim. So I don't need one, but I'll go and check it out, double check all mine to make sure everything is functioning properly. But I'm definitely a trackpad person. I'll throw one in that I sort of keep a running list of things that, well, if I see a good enough price, and this one caught my eye. This is the Eufy Security Indoor Cam E220 pan and tilt. It's a 2K 3 megapixel Wi-Fi plug-in, voice assistant, etc., etc. So I'm going to try it I mean, that's always sort of the great thing about Amazon. You can always return it. But I have a desire for a home security camera in a different location in my home, and it would be especially nice to have it do 360. That way, I only need one instead of a couple to cover the room or rooms. So I'm going to give it a shot. It was 42% off, and there's another 3% coupon as well.
$3.
So,
Wow.
or $3. Excuse me, $3 coupon. Pardon me. So,
That's
it's
a good deal.
Does that mean the next gen product is right around the door?
The camera market seems to be changing so fast, and I've got several that are now a few years old. I don't feel the need to chase the home security camera market, but on the other hand, if something definitely comes up that I feel like I've got something now that is a deficiency or has a part of my house not covered that I want covered, I figured this is a pretty good deal for it if it turns out. And I do have I already have a couple of eufy cams, and I've been really happy with them. So, but this will be the first pan and tilt version. So I'll let you know.
So I like the AirTag 4-packs because they're like $20 off. Get a 4-pack, and I find that a lot of my AirTags end up going to other people because someone will say, "Oh, I'm heading off on a trip," or "I'm going what," and so then I say, "Well, and I unpair the AirTag, hand it to them, they pair it to their device, throw it in a bag, and head off on the trip, and they say, "Hey, that's really neat," and don't give it back. So picking up a 4-pack, so I have some extras. That's kind of a nice gift.
You should just leave it paired to you, and then you could track it.
I'll also throw one other, and that is just some charging cables from Anker, because I got caught this past weekend thinking that I had a fast charging cable, and I didn't, and so I had to spend an extra amount of time with the device plugged in. So I'm going to make sure that all the cables in my bag are fast charging, because that's
that's a good deal
thing.
right there.
That is.
Yeah, it is. Add to cart.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Click.
Yeah, that and just for the folks who are listening, right now they're $11.99, which is 25% off, and they are let's see, these are what, 3.3 feet, I think, 6 feet. Excuse me, 6 feet, 2 feet. Yeah, 6 feet or 10 feet. So, and actually, I think all the lengths are on Prime. So, pick the one that suits you. But yeah, it felt like
Chuck,
a pretty good deal.
what do you say the price was that you saw?
The one I had loaded that I bought was showing it for $11.99. I'm showing it to be
because I clicked the link you put in the chat, and I see it for $9.49.
$9.49. Yeah.
Oh,
the 6 foot is $9.49.
Yes, 6
foot is $9.49. Okay, I got to go back and check my order now. So, well, this is
I woke up this.
Yeah, because anything longer than 6 foot, that's a weapon. You could strangle somebody with that.
Yeah.
I think you could do that with the 6 foot also.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
I can kill you with a 3 foot cable.
I
can kill you with a 2 foot.
I mean, nothing.
That's a nice thought. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead, Marty. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I woke up this morning to my wife saying, "So how much would a new iPhone cost us?" And so my day was involved ordering a new iPhone for her, and then going to Amazon to look at what sort of things like cases and covers and shields, and finding some of them with Amazon Prime. Started reading an article by Macalope talking about glasses, and up pops a ad for Amazon Prime and their Echo glasses. And I'm like, well, taking the Chuck philosophy, I can try them, and if I don't like them, I can always return them. But they are 48% off. They pretty much cut the price in half to about $170 for a set of Echo Gen 3 glasses. So we'll see.
Nice. Okay. Seriously, I know Dave and Jeff have to go. So, Jeff, where can folks find you when you're not here leaving MacVoices Live early?
Well, I mean, this evening you can find me with Dave at the Mac and Tech user group. But other than that, on social media, Jay Gamet everywhere, and I'm posting my my Inktober drawings on Instagram. And excuse me, then for shows here with you on Tuesday, Dave lets me join in Touch with iOS on Thursdays, the British Tech Network, Big Show on Thursdays, Mac Show on Fridays. Brian Chaffin and I do The Context Machine, and Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro Rewatch.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for coming. Please tell the folks at Mac and Tech we said hello. Dave Ginsburg, thank you for being here too for an abbreviated time. Where can folks connect with you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. And, you are going to find me at Mac and Tech, joining Jeff here shortly. But you'll also find me on In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. YouTube channel is youtube.com/intouchwithios. Here on Tuesdays, Mac Show on Fridays, and I'm on Mastodon, DaveG65 at mastodon.cloud.
Thank you, Dave. Good to see you as always.
Yes,
I think Jeff may have frozen.
Like he did.
Yeah,
I'll just leave. So see ya.
Okay. Yeah.
Good night, David. Good night, Jeff.
We may be graced with Jeff's image for the rest of the show. I don't know. Nope. There he went.
There he goes.
I guess Dave drug him with him. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Sorry, lost the link. So one more Apple specific story, and I just always think this is interesting. Oh, Jeff just texted and said that Zoom had a problem on him and crashed. So that must have been what happened. The new Apple TV Plus movie Wolves is the most viewed movie in Apple TV Plus's history. Has anybody seen this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, give us a Cisco and Ebert review. Oh my God, I just dated myself. I'm sorry.
One thumb up, one thumb down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but who thumbed it up, Ebert or Cisco?
I have no idea.
Which one of you?
If Ebert thumbs it up,
Cisco.
I'm good.
Cisco gave it a thumbs up.
Oh, well,
Okay.
Never mind then.
Welcome, Webb.
Yes, Webb Bixby, go Chiefs.
Where'd that Gamet guy go? I'm looking for that Gamet guy.
You just missed him. He had to go. He's going to speak at. He and Dave went to Mac and Tech.
Yeah.
Meeting,
I
so-
heard. Yeah, I wish I had a nickel every time I use that excuse.
Wow. Okay. What, Webb? Is there a problem that I'm not aware of?
I've just now. So I got to keep it clean. Let's just say I've had a bad week,
Okay.
and it's only Tuesday.
Okay. Well, then think of us as your ray of sunshine.
Yeah, I need a bottle of bourbon and a good friend. So
Okay. Have you? I'm trying to pull this back. Have you seen Wolves?
I have not. Okay. I've been meaning to, but I have not. So
yeah, I have not either. I mean, part of me says that it was George Clooney and Brad Pitt. Kind of, how could this be anything but a hit? But that said,
I have my Apple remote right here. I could put it on right now and give you a running commentary if you want. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, they play their parts the way they play their parts. I enjoyed it. I had my popcorn. It was worth it. But yeah, it was what was expected. If you wanted something totally new, totally unique, it wasn't that. But I wanted what I got, and that they delivered.
Okay. Mark?
Yeah, I must confess, I saw it last night after seeing that it was in the topic list for tonight, and I had been aware of this, and I was wondering, okay, that's really interesting, because wasn't there some controversy about this, being released or supposed to be released for a theatrical release and not occurring, and then pulling back in a very limited fashion or something? But any event, I don't think it's going to win any Academy Awards. So pulling it back or not doing a theatrical release, I think, is justified. It's an okay movie. I mean, it's a really interesting premise. So it's entertaining. But I would say that if you want something way more entertaining, look at whatever the heck network it's on. Sylvester Stallone in Tulsa King, or The Old Man with John Lithgow and the guy whose name I can never remember, who's in The Big Lebowski. Those I think are series, and they're much more entertaining than Wolves. And with that, I'll shut up. Otherwise, I'll get death threats.
Listen. I haven't seen it. I did put it on my watch list. It seems to be another win for Apple TV Plus. Whether you like this particular one or not, they just seem to keep churning out positive things. Not everyone's a hit, and not everyone probably gets positive results, but they're doing something right.
Been watching Bad Monkey.
I have a follow-up.
Yeah, sure, Mark.
Yeah, I think. And I'm definitely going to get hits from the big studios of Hollywood for this comment, because I think Apple TV is coming out with new ideas, new content, where some of the big studios just want to milk stories and come out with Fast and Furious episode 73 or some sort of the Avengers episode 129 or something. So it's time for new stories and new content, not recycling the same old stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that a lot. I mean, some of the stuff that they are putting into theaters now, I look at it and I say, who's going to the theaters to see this? Who's not going to wait until it shows up in their favorite streaming service? I can't find it. I guess the last one that I felt compelled to go see on a big screen was the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Mm-hmm. Other than that, nothing has pulled me into a theater, and I don't even remember when now.
I think Apple has gotten a niche that they might have taken. I mean, they're filling a niche that big studios aren't doing anymore. HBO, when they came out, used to do a lot of those little programs and used to do a lot of those kinds of stories. And I think Apple's stolen that away from them. And they really have kind of the new content. It's diversified, so you can, whatever your watching pleasures are, you can probably find some shows on Apple TV Plus that'll make you happy. I have not seen Wolves yet. Standing in line with Aileen, waiting to vote today, I said, "Hey, have you, this Wolves thing?" And she's like, "Who's in it?" I said, "Well, Brad Pitt and George Clooney." And she said, "Well, that's a film I'll never see." She just does not like those two actors. So I think there's there is a demographic that's going to appreciate that. You know what you're going to get. You've seen them do these roles, I assume, in other ways. They're not Academy Award-winning roles. I don't think they have. Well, Pitt had one Academy Award-winning role, I think, but they're not in Academy Award-winning films. So I think it's just a perfect fit for them. And yes, Jim, Bad Monkey.
Yeah, Jim. What about Bad Monkey?
You guys been watching it?
Oh, yeah.
Not yet, but I plan to.
Very good.
It's really well done and has a lot of twists and turns in it, and
It does
Yeah,
have
I've
one
really been
major
enjoying it.
problem.
What's that?
You have to wait 7 days to find out what's going to happen next.
Yeah, but the last episode's tomorrow, so
Tomorrow, yeah, I think.
Or tonight, really, right?
I thought it was Wednesday. It could be Tuesday, but I thought it was Wednesday.
Yeah,
So
but it shows up on Tuesday nights for me.
yeah, so Mark, you can watch the whole thing from beginning to end. So I think it's 10 episodes or 12 episodes. So
No, Webb.
Now,
My Apple
yeah.
Watch will make me get up and stand.
It's one of those that the premise did not appeal to me, but I've heard so many good things about it. I feel like I really need to watch it, and then I will enjoy it. It just wasn't one that grabbed me. So
I think you'll like it.
Yeah, it only has to grab you by one arm.
That's true.
When I heard the premise, I was sort of like, yeah, but then wanted to watch it. So we started and we were both immediately hooked.
But were you going to add something?
No, I just saying you'd enjoy the show, and it's really good. I think it's well directed and well written. Yeah.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.